We live in a digital age, and as custodians of these students, that comes with additional legal protections we're going to talk about. But let's start with the basics. The Family Education Rights and Privacy Act provides protections for students and safeguards students' educational records. This gives four main protections. Parents and eligible students have the right to inspect and review their educational records. Parents and eligible students have the right to request corrections if they believe records are inaccurate or misleading. Schools may actually deny the request, but if they do so, they need to provide a hearing. Parents and eligible students have the right to request corrections if they believe records are inaccurate or misleading. Schools may actually deny the request, but if they do so, they need to provide a hearing. Schools can disclose directory information without consent unless parents or students who are 18 years and older opt out. This includes things like name, address, phone number, participation in activities and sports. This is why our school can have a blog post about the students who won the latest volleyball tournament. Schools, however, must notify parents and students annually about what qualifies as directory information and allow them to opt out. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPA, protects the personal information of children under 13 by restricting how websites, apps, and online services collect and use their information. This is usually dealing with commercial websites, though schools are also included. This is because schools can provide consent on behalf of parents for strictly educational purposes, but student data cannot be used for commercial marketing, tracking, or targeted ads. If one of the ed tech providers wanted to do this, they would actually need direct consent from the parent. The Children's Protection Act, CIPA, is a federal law enacted in 2000 that requires schools and libraries receiving federal funding for internet access through something called the E-Rate program to implement internet safety measures to protect children from harmful online content. Unlike COPA, CIPA focuses on educational institutions, keeping children safe from inappropriate content, such as obscene material, child pornography, content harmful to minors, such as explicit material, extreme violence. This is usually done through web filtering technology, something that you've probably run up against when you've had this really cool video or presentation you wanted to use that you found online, and you needed to go find an IT person to give you access to that web domain. Now, New York's education law 2D builds upon COPA and FERPA by adding stronger safeguards, transparency requirements, and enforcement mechanisms that specifically apply to schools, third-party vendors, and student data privacy within New York State.